Good morning and welcome to the Rehab Christian Center on Sunday morning virtual experience. I'm Dr. Zeb, and it's good to be here with you this morning, and certainly hopeful that everything is going well with you, that your weekend has been awesome and restful, and that all is well with you and your family. It's good to be here, and just so excited about part 3 of this series that we did not intend, we never do, but we end up in this space sometimes and really engaging messages that really empower us and challenge our lives. And this is one of them. Out with the old, in with the new. We are on part 3 today. And I'm excited to bring this message to you today. So I want to get through all of the networks because I want to get into this today and try my best, my absolute best to finish today. I've got to try to get through all of this today. So there is no part 4, so we can shift gears next week. But just so grateful again that you've tuned in, and want to encourage you right now to start tagging people, sharing this video, tell everybody to tune in, join in with us. As we go through the network, say good morning to everybody. Certainly encourage all of you to say good morning in the chat area to let us know you're tuned in and that you are live with us. So it is good to be here. And again, thank you so much for joining us. Start sharing this video right where you are. And let's get going. Facebook, good morning. It's good to see you virtually on Facebook this morning, this Super Sunday at Rehab Christian Center. Do me a favor, if you're on Facebook, I want you to like this video. If you really enjoy this broadcast, I want you to hold down the like button, turn it to a love button, hit that share button, hit the @ symbol, tag 5 people, tell them to tune in this morning. And you're going to be glad, Facebook, that you did. I really appreciate you. Those of you that continue to tune in on Facebook, we've had viewers shift everywhere. It's funny. I look at our numbers occasionally. We've had viewers shift. Many of our viewers from Facebook are now watching on Instagram, and some of our Instagram viewers are watching on YouTube. People are all over the place, but this is a good thing. As long as you're getting the message is the most important thing. And it is so good, again, to see you, Facebook. Thank you so much for tuning in, for your faithfulness and consistency. We are appreciative of you. Instagram, good morning to you. Those of you that are tuned in via Instagram, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're on Instagram, make sure you say good morning in the chat area, just as we told those folks to do on Facebook. It is rude to come to church and not speak. Make sure you say good morning and then hit the hearts. Let me know you're there, that you're tuned in, that you are paying attention, that you're ready this morning. And then hit that @ symbol. If you would, Instagram, hit the @ symbol in the comment area, tag 5 people, invite them to virtual church on today. And I promise you, somebody is going to be blessed in a tremendous way. I'm telling you, this series has been incredible. It's been incredible. This is one of those series where I've literally gone back and watched the replays several times for myself. I don't always just teach to you. I teach to myself a lot of days. And so I've gone back and watched the replay myself and just replayed it myself and listened to it myself. Journal on the table, taking notes as I'm doing this and so many other things right now. But I certainly hope that this message has been blessing you. And again, Instagram, thank you for tuning in. Let's hit that @ symbol, start tagging people now. Tell them to wake up. Instagram is the funny church because they have all kinds of commentary going on in that chat. They're also the late church. They show up just in time for the word. But we're grateful to have you this morning, Instagram. YouTube, good morning to you. Those of you that are tuned in via YouTube, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It is good to see you virtually, and certainly hopeful that everything is going well with you. If you're on YouTube, if you have not subscribed to our channel on YouTube, you can subscribe to our channel by visiting at TheREHABCC. Go to YouTube, type in the chat area at TheREHABCC. That's at TheREHABCC on YouTube. And you can find all of our messages, just as you can on Facebook and Instagram for the most part. But every single message we've taught, especially since the pandemic started, you can find on YouTube. So subscribe to our channel if you are not subscribed there. It is a great place to get the word. We've got playlists. You can put it on repeat. You can allow these messages to just continue to go on and on as you work out, as you walk, whatever you do. I highly encourage all of you to do that. Certainly, as we shift to a hybrid format, YouTube is going to play a major role in what we do and many of the things that we do virtually. And so if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, I want to encourage you to do that right away because it will be a blessing to you. All right. I've gone through all of the networks. I'm rolling 9:13. I've got myself 2 more minutes back. But I want to get right into this today. This Super Sunday. This is first Sunday, Super Sunday for us. And we are continuing to sow and give in preparation hopefully for a hybrid opening in April. And I'm excited about that. It's so crazy. This variant isn't going to stop, just so you all know. I was reading an article, what's today, Sunday? I think it may have been Thursday. They were talking about another variant, B2 something, BA something. I don't know. There's always going to be a variant of this. And if you look at the old flu outbreak many years ago, that continued to spiral up into today. And so I don't think this is something we will ever get rid of. It is my hope that we will be able to get rid of things like masks and things like that and be able to be near one another. And I'm sure we will. But I think this this virus will continue to just mutate and mutate and mutate, probably for the remainder of most of our lives. And that's okay. But my number one prayer is that you are safe and well, wherever you are. And I just cannot say, let me say this out loud. I cannot say thank you enough for your consistency and your consistent support and tuning in. Listen, we have gained so many partners and friends throughout this virus, whatever we're in, pandemic, endemic, whatever we're in right now. We've gained so many friends and supporters in this space. And it's just a reminder that everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for our good. And so I'm just grateful for all of you, for your consistency, for your consistent support. I've learned a lot during this pandemic. One of the things I've learned about me is if it ain't broke, I won't fix it. I tell you, this has been a very interesting time. But I've also learned the importance of patience, and I've also learned the importance of consistency. And I'm grateful again, just to all of you for your consistency during this time. And just excited about what the Lord is doing for all of us. Let's get into the declaration. I'm excited. If you haven't shared this video, I need you to share it quickly, because as soon as I finish declaration, I'm getting right into this. I ain't wasting a lot of time today. I gotta finish today. I'm not doing a part 4. And every time I say I'm not going to do another part, I end up doing another part. But I'm not doing a part 4 today. I want to try to get through this message as much as possible. But I'm telling you, just as I had the last 2 weeks, I've got some nuggets to share with you today. It's going to be powerful. And I'm grateful to be here. So let's get into the declaration. If this is your first time tuning in to our broadcast, you would not know that every Sunday we go through our declaration. People ask, what does REHAB stand for? And REHAB is an acronym for 5 pillars by which we attempt to operate ministry: restore, evangelize, hope, alternatives, breakthrough. And so we always walk through this declaration on Sundays because we believe in the power of what we say. Life, death, good experiences, bad experiences, riches, wealth, sickness, health, everything that we experience in our lives is connected to the things that we say and the thoughts we believe. And so we walk through the declaration every Sunday. And so I don't care where you are, if you're driving, if you're working, if you are getting ready for brunch, if you're at brunch, it doesn't matter where you are. I want you to, as you're doing what you're doing and tuning in, I want you to repeat this declaration with me because it not only helps to set our tone for Sunday, but it helps to set our tone for the week. And it's a very powerful thing. And so I'm grateful for you. And let's walk through this declaration. Again, if you're watching Facebook, YouTube, you can see the declaration on the screen. Instagram, we are working on that. You will be able to see it really soon. But I'm grateful that all of you have tuned in. Let's go through this declaration. Say it with me. Restore. We declare that everything that is broken, lost, hurt, or destroyed that belongs to us and has been designed by God is restored. My faith is restored. My joy is restored. My mind is restored. Even my lost time is restored. I am no longer broken. The fact that I'm alive means I have another chance. My faith has restored me. And right now, His love is making me whole. Evangelize. Say it with me. We declare that God helped us so we can help somebody else. He loved me when I was unlovable. He changed me when I was a mess. His love lifted me when I was down. I'm not perfect, but I'm free. And anything that came for me can't keep me. Because I'm free, my circle is next. My family is saved. My friends are blessed. My plans are successful. My goals are ahead of schedule. And anything connected to me is blessed, just like me. Hope. Some of you should have this memorized by now, by the way. I hope so. Those of you that have tuned in before. Let's say it. Hope. We declare that everything that is missing is not lost. In Jesus, I have hope. And this hope makes me confident. It doesn't matter what happens to me or around me. I'm going to win. My relationships are winning. My goals are winning. My family is winning. My neighbor is winning. This city will win, and my row has the victory. My past is defeated, and my future is brighter today than it was yesterday. Alternatives. Say it with me. We declare that God made us different. I'm a royal child, the light of the world, and the hope of my city. I respect the past, but I don't look like what I've been through. I love the church, and my life is balanced. I love coming to church, but I like flights, boats, and vacations. My whole life is blessed. I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. I am a lender, not a borrower. And every place I go belongs to me. Breakthrough. Say it with me. We declare that God has a breakthrough with our name on it. I have some challenges, but I am not defeated. No weapon formed against me can prosper. And I know that all things are working for my good. Things are not breaking down. They are about to break through. There is a breakthrough in my career. There is a breakthrough in my home. There is a breakthrough in my health. There is a breakthrough in my finances. I am here on purpose, for a purpose, and everything that went wrong is getting ready to turn around. My friends, if you made that declaration with us today, I want you to type in the comments right now, it's going to get better quickly. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. Every Sunday this year, we are now in the month of February, that fast. I'm telling y'all, this year is going to fly by. We're in the month of February already. And I'm here to tell you, every single Sunday, we have been making that declaration. And I want you to make that declaration right now. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. I do believe this, that the things in your life that you struggled with last year, you're not going to struggle with this year. The challenges that you had last year, you're not going to have them this year. You've got to walk in an unusual faith and know that in time, things get better. It's going to get better. I don't care what you're facing, what you're dealing with, what you are experiencing right now. I want you to be encouraged to know that it's going to get better. Doesn't matter the situation, doesn't matter the predicament, doesn't matter the challenge, doesn't matter the obstacle, doesn't matter what the doctor said, doesn't even really matter how you feel. Because sometimes your feelings, you can be like a roller coaster, up and down, all over the place. But I want you to be encouraged today to know that things are going to get better in your life. And I'm excited because I can see it all over you. And you've got to have that attitude. You've got to set that kind of energy every single day so that when all kinds of things fly at you, you are stable enough to believe, stable enough to know, stable enough to function in a space that says, I ain't worried about it. Things are going to get better. Things are going to turn around for me. And I'm excited about that. Listen, let's get into this. We are in part 3. I'm ready. I'm excited. I'm stoked. I'm ready to get back into this. We're going to try to wrap this up. And so I'm going to try to move today, but I'm telling you, I got more nuggets to share with you through this message. Out with the old, in with the new. On this Super Sunday, first Sunday, Super Sunday, we are sowing a $99 seed. And I want to challenge all of you to do that as we continue to grow and prepare for the things that are ahead. Out with the old, in with the new. Would you type that in the comments really quickly? That's the subject for today. We are part 3 of an amazing series, Out with the Old, In with the New. And I'm starting at Isaiah chapter 43, verse 5 through 7. Isaiah chapter 43, verse 5 through 7 is where we are, New Living Translation. And that's where I'm going to start. And again, I've got several bullet points I've got to try to cover today. I'm going to try my best to get through all of this today. I have to. We cannot do a part 4 next week. I've got to really shift some things. And I'm excited again. So again, it's going to get better. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. I want you to put that in the comments right now. And I promise you, you're going to be blessed today. Isaiah chapter 43, verse 5 through 7, New Living Translation is where we are starting because something amazing here happens. Now, remember, we talked last week about the importance of being relaxed in rough situations, right? Difficult spots, difficult moments, difficult circumstances, right? And we really left last week on an incredible high where I challenged many of you when you are in rough seasons to remind yourself, hey, relax, I'm covered, right? We talked about the importance of knowing that we were covered in any situation. And because we are covered, that should then give us the strength to remain relaxed at all times. And so I want to continue this because if you recall the first week of this series, we talked about how Israel ended up in this spot. And then last week we started walking backwards, right? We walked backwards to give context to what eventually God did for Israel. And that is he replaced all of their old experiences with new and better experiences, right? And so I want to continue in that vein because if you read through, and I'm not going to read it, if you read Isaiah chapter 43, verse 5 through 7, as God continues to remind Israel, look, I've got my hand on your life. I've called you by name. We talked about this last week. I've called you by name. I've got my hand on your life. Nothing's going to happen to you. Nothing's going to harm you. I've covered you. He also extends the promises in verse 5 through 7. And what he does in verse 5 through 7 is he assures them that the promises for their life will go after everyone associated with them. Right? So God tells Israel, listen, this protection, these promises aren't just for you, but it's also for everybody associated with you. Here's your very first point. I want you to record this. This is your very first point. All right. And somebody needs to hear this today. And I'm excited about this. I want you to record this right now. God is going to cover everybody attached to you. Okay. God is going to cover everybody attached to you. This is of critical importance. This is why it is so important that you are aware that you are covered, right? Because when you're covered, it means that God is going to then in turn cover everybody associated with you, right? This is why it's so important that you move like you know God's covered you, that you live like you know God's covered you, that you function like you know God's promises are on your life, because his promises aren't just for you. His promises are also for those attached to you, right? Part of his protection over your life is covering the things concerning your life. This is important. Part of God's protection over your life is his covering of those things concerning your life, right? So he doesn't just cover you just to cover you. He covers you so that he can cover the things associated with you, right? So let's not miss this. His promises are going to go after everybody associated with you. And this is why we've got to know that we're covered. Here we go. And this is why we've got to make sure that we are associated, that we are attached, that we are connected to the right people, not just in this season, but in every season of our lives, right? He ain't just covering you. He's covering your family. He ain't just covering you. He's going to cover your friends. He ain't just covering you. He's going to cover those folks that are near and dear to your heart. And so we've got to be careful. This, if we think about it, should really then increase the premium that we see on our lives, right? It should increase the value that we see on our lives, right? When people are attached to you, when people are associated with you, when people are connected with you, there is a bonus for their lives for being in your life. Okay, this is about to get real good. There's a bonus for their lives for being in your life, right? Why? Because of the calling, the purpose, the plan that God has on your life. Anybody that connects with you then becomes is positioned to be a recipient of everything that comes your way. So we got to watch our connections. Again, not just in this season, but in every season of our lives. Why? Because God doesn't just cover us. He doesn't just protect us. He protects everybody connected to us. I want you to record this. I'm giving y'all a lot of notes. I got a lot of meat I got to throw at you really quickly. I want you to record this really, really quickly. Not only is God going to protect them, he's going to help them. All right? We're going to turn a corner here, and this is going to be good. Not only is God going to protect them, who's the them? The people that are connected to us in our lives, our family, our friends, whoever, loved ones, whatever. Not only is God going to protect them, this is important, he's going to help them, right? We've got to shift gears here because something happens in Isaiah chapter 43, verse 8 through 13. I'm giving y'all a lot. Record that. Isaiah chapter 43, verse 8 through 13 in the New Living Translation. This about to get good, right? We at a level maybe 30 right now. It's about to jump up to 80 real quick. Not only is God going to protect the people in your life, he's going to help the people connected to you. This is so important. This is so important. I'm going to break this down because if you look in Isaiah chapter 43, verse 8 through 13, the New Living Translation, after God says, listen, the promises are going to be associated to everybody connected to you, then he says this. He says, gather the blind who have eyes and the deaf who have ears, right? In a nutshell, he says, gather the blind who have eyes, gather the deaf who have ears, gather all of these people that are associated with you that's got all of these challenges and bring them here. Record this. You ready? God can even deliver the people you tried to help, but you couldn't help. This is about to get good. God can even deliver the people you tried to help, but you couldn't help. God can even deliver. He can even help the people you tried to help, but couldn't help. I want to just make the announcement this morning. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, but somebody going to get free today. You ready? Y'all got to stop worrying about people who got the tools but won't use them. Y'all have to stop worrying over people who have all the tools, the knowledge, the ability to live a better life, to live a healed life, to live a prosperous life, to live all these. You got to stop worrying over folks who's got everything that it takes to make it, and they just won't use what they got. Some of you are going to run yourself in the grave worrying over people who got the tools to be all right, but they won't use it. You know why? Because they relying on your tools. They got the ability, but they relying on your ability. They got the experience. They relying on your experience. They got the smarts. They relying on your smarts. This is a big one for some of y'all. They even got the money and relying on some of y'all money. Huh? It's true. They got everything that it takes to make it, but they relying on you. And I'm just telling y'all, some of you are going to run your blood pressure through the sky, your blood sugar all over the place, and you're going to end up in an early grave worrying over people who got the tools but won't use them. Stop. And this is especially for those of you grown folks who got grown kids or other grown people in your life who have grown ability to do grown things. Y'all stop. Stop. When people got the tools to be all right, you teach them, you instruct them, you pray for them, you encourage them. But I'm telling you, stop wearing yourself out trying to worry and help people who got the tools but won't help themselves. Let me tell y'all something. God is in the blessing business. God is in the saving business. God is in the healing business. God is in the miracle business. God is in the feeding business. God is in the giving you a job business. God is in the saving your family business. God is in the helping business. God is in the career sending business. God is in the make sending business. God is in the love business. God is in the blessing business. He's in all of these businesses. But let me tell you the easiest way to be blessed. The easiest way to be blessed by God is to first help yourself. The easiest way to be blessed by God is to help yourself. In other words, God helps, he will help you, but he really helps those who first help themselves. And some of y'all literally allowing grown folks in your life. Some of y'all are literally allowing grown folks in your life to rust out their ability and wear yours out. Y'all stop. Stop. Listen, if this pandemic didn't teach y'all nothing, let me tell you something. Let me tell you what this pandemic should have taught you. This pandemic should have taught you that life is too short to be worrying over grown folks who have the ability, who know right from wrong, but who just choose to make their own decisions. And sometimes you got to let folk live with their decisions. Record this. Sometimes you have to let people live with their decisions. Can't worry over people who got tools that won't use them. There's nothing more frustrating than seeing potential in people and they don't see it in themselves. Now, I can talk about this all day as a pastor because some of y'all get on my bleat nerves. I'm going to be honest. And you don't get on my nerves because I don't like you. You don't get on my nerves because I don't love you. You get on my nerves because I can see your potential. You can't even see it in yourself. And when you can't see your own potential, it don't matter what I teach. It doesn't matter how I teach. It doesn't matter the revelation I get. If you don't see it for you, you'll never get it. It's that simple. So the pandemic taught me a valuable lesson. Zeb, teach. Teach. Give the people what they need. Give them instruction. Give them a fresh word. And then, because you know you're teaching people who have the potential and the ability to live abundant lives, to live blessed lives, give them what they need, go to sleep at night. I know y'all don't like this. I know, because y'all want me to teach and then worry, make sure you got it and worry. No, you got to apply it to your life just like I have to apply it to mine. So nothing, I'm being honest with you, nothing really frustrates me more than to be surrounded by people who have the potential to live every kind of life they've ever imagined. They got all the tools, but they don't want to use them. They don't want to use their tools. They want to use their mama's tools. They want to use my tools. They want to use their grandmama's tools. You can't listen, for those of y'all, and I miss my grandmothers. I do. But let me tell you something. You can't live your life, all your life, off grandma's prayers. You can't live your life, all your life, off your mama's prayers. You can't live your life, all your life, off your granddaddy's and your aunt's prayers. You can, right? Those prayers will get you to a certain point. Watch. But when we know better, we do better. And what I can't figure out is how people can know better, but still not do better. But here's the answer. If you know better and you ain't doing better, it's because you got the tools, but you won't use them. I'm teaching already. Y'all don't even like this. I'm teaching on this capital campaign. Are y'all listening to the old man? If you know better, but you ain't doing better, it's because you got the tools, but you ain't using them. And y'all have to stop leeching off of other people's tools when you got every tool in the world to make it. You got it. Can't rely on grandma's prayers. Can't rely on grandma's fasting. Let me help y'all. You can't even rely on pastors' prayers. Now, pastors' prayers can get you can get you some movement. And I'm not saying this arrogantly. I'm saying I get emails and messages every week. People, hey, Pastor, you've been praying for me. This has been happening. These doors are opening. So I know I can get a prayer through. I have no doubt about it. But let me tell you something. What you gonna do when Pastor go on vacation and he ain't praying? Huh? What you gonna do when Pastor take 2 weeks off and go on vacation? He leave his Bible at home. He ain't praying. He ain't getting up at 4. He's sleeping late. He going to bed late. He's sleeping late. What you gonna do? You got to have your own. You got to have your own tool shed. You have to have your own abilities. Are y'all listening to me? And see, this is why so many people. I do not pray on vacation. A comment just came on Instagram. I want to address this out loud. Swan is laughing at me already because she already knows. And I think Michelle's trying to taunt me. Now, Pastor, I know you pray on vacation. She know better. No, I do not pray on vacation. I don't. I mean, I pray over my food. Sister Ashley, y'all pray for Pastor. I'm honest. I'm brutally honest. Now, a lot of these pastors, they go on vacation. They got their sand. They got sand between their toes, and they're out there on the beach, and the green water's in front of them, and they out there speaking in tongues on the beach chat. That ain't me. I pray, of course, on the plane ride. Well, I don't pray on the plane. I pray, y'all trying to play pastor. I pray before I get on the plane. I pray that morning when I leave. I, of course, pray for safe travels and all of that stuff. But let me tell you something. When I get there, that's it. I'm praying over my food. I'm relaxing. You better have a prayer life. See, and I know. I know. You have some pastors that will never admit that. I just admit it. Vacation is vacation time. Jesus rested. Okay? And so you have to make sure that you understand that you cannot worry over people who have the tools but won't use them. Y'all stop. Many of you have helped people. You have invested in people. You have poured into people, wisdom, knowledge, resources, money, time. You poured all this stuff. Listen, go to bed. Y'all go to sleep tonight. And trust in the investments you've made in people. Trust in the things that people have received by being attached to you. And force people to start using the tools that they have. Because I'm here to tell you, you got to get to a place in your life. I want you to record this right now, where you do the best you can for everyone and you let God handle the rest. Record this now. Do the best you can for everyone you can. Let God handle the rest. Do the best you can for everyone you can. Let God handle the rest. That's my mantra. It has been my mantra for a few years. But especially during this pandemic, I'm telling y'all, pastors at a place where I do the best I can for people. The absolute best. For everybody I can. And I let God handle the rest. My bed hit the pillow, I go to sleep. And I mean this sincerely. And some of you got to take that approach so you don't worry yourself into a grave. So you don't worry yourself into depression. You don't worry yourself into anxiety. You don't worry yourself into unnecessary pain and drama. Do the best you can for people. Let God handle the rest. Watch this. And you got to learn how to live with the consequences of that. What are the consequences? Some of y'all better catch this word. You better learn how to live with the consequences, because the consequences are when you've been helping people for so long and doing for people for so long, when you stop, people going to think something wrong with you. And maybe I'm just teaching to myself. Is this making sense to anybody? Huh? Fill up with hearts. Let me know. Talk back to me. When you have been doing for people forever, when you stop, people going to look at you like something wrong with you. People going to get an attitude with you like you the problem. No, You have finally come to the conclusion that the most you can do for people is the best you can. Do the best you can. And when you've done the best, let God handle the rest. If you haven't done your best, do more. Do more. I don't, I don't feel bad when I know I've done my best. I do feel bad when I know I haven't done my best, right? When it comes to people in my life, people associated to me in any walk of life for that matter. When I know I've done my best for people, I'm at a place called peace. And you have to find that place. I'm not peaceful. I was sharing this with somebody earlier in the week. I'm not at peace. I struggle to find peace when I know I could do more for people and I have not done more for them, right? And then I want them to go, use the tools they do, or they choose to go and use tools they have, whatever. But I'm just telling you, when I know I've done my best, you have to live with the results. You have to let people use the tools they have, let God handle the rest. You got to live with the results. Okay? And so many of you got to find peace. My challenge for many of you today is that you will find peace in the results. Okay? I want you to find peace in the results, meaning find peace in making the decision to do the best for people you can and let God handle the rest and just deal with the results. You got to find peace in those results. Right? Is this helping anybody? Now, look at this. Verse 13 says this. Isaiah then says in verse 13, and I paraphrase, he says that then when you do this, right? When you gather all the people that's got these challenges that connect to you and you bring them to me, when you bring them to me, nobody can snatch them out of my hand. This is what God is saying. Now, this is a great place in a building where folk could really be shouting here, right? Because when you bring people to God in your life, when you hand them over to God, when you say, God, listen, I've gone as far as I can. You take it from here. I'm good. I've done my part, right? You take it from here. When you hand them over to God, then God says through Isaiah, didn't start my timer. He says, when you hand them over to me, can't nobody take them out of my hand. I want you to record this. Y'all ready? This is going to make some of y'all upset. But let's just take the word. You ready? Record this. Your job is not to carry people, but to get them in God's hands. That simple. I'm helping somebody today. Your job is not to carry people, but to get them in God's hands. You got one job. Y'all know I like to say that. You got one job. It ain't to carry people. Your job is to get people in God's hands. That's it. Your job is not to carry them. Can I help y'all? I'm going to be very transparent here. During the pandemic, there was a period where I got really, really, really tired and frustrated. Right? Frustrated and tired. Let's use that order. Frustrated and tired. Just tired, worn out, right? If you've never done anything like this, hosted shows virtually, communicating on the back end to do these types of productions, the work that you put in on the front end, that you put in during, the work that you put in afterwards, it's a lot of work. And I was telling somebody this week, I'm still working about 80 to 90 hours a week easily. And that's a big jump up from probably about 50 to 60 hours pre-pandemic. I'm working harder during the pandemic than I've ever worked in my life. And many of you have that testimony as well. But I hit a season, and there was a period during this pandemic where I was frustrated and tired. I'm just telling you the truth. I was frustrated and tired because I was managing all of these things and tired to the point where I was like, look, I don't know how much more this I can handle. This is a lot, right? This is a lot, managing all of this, managing that, managing this, trying to keep church moving. It's just a lot. Business, all this stuff, not to mention family stuff. It's just a lot, right? It's a lot that just keep this going. And, so then I took a couple of trips last year, and thank God they start back up in a couple of weeks. I'm about to die. But I took a couple of trips, and then it hit me. Zahab, you tired because you carrying too much. You frustrated not because this ain't what you do, and this ain't what you've been called to do, and that ain't what you've been called to do, and that ain't what you've been called to start, and that ain't what you've been called to lead. The problem is not with the business and with the church and with the things you got going on that you're managing. The job and your career, the job ain't with that. The job is you are carrying too much. You are carrying people, things, situations that frankly you should not be carrying. You should be putting it in God's hands. I want to help some of y'all this morning because some of y'all feel tired and frustrated and you feel worn out. But here's the problem. The problem is not that you're really tired and frustrated. The problem is that you're worn out from carrying things and people you ain't got no business carrying. And most times, for most of you, you are carrying grown folks that you have no business carrying. Stop. Stop carrying people you ain't got no business carrying. Stop carrying situations that you can be given over to God. Because, right, we say it, but do we really mean it? Like, take your burdens to the Lord, leave them there. Do we really mean that? Because when you do that, then you find yourself not carrying situations that you have no business carrying. Right? You gotta stop. You gotta stop. And I get it. And this is incredibly challenging for those of us who feel like we have to have the answers for everybody's problems. Am I teaching anybody that can be honest and admit like me? Yeah, Dr. Zeb, I'm in the same boat. I know what it's like to be the person that feel like he got to fix everything. I got to fix everything. I got to help everybody. Y'all stop. You do not have to fix everybody. You do not. Oh, I'm going to get in trouble for this. You don't have to help everybody. Huh? You don't have to help everybody. One of the things I miss about being in person and being out and things being normal is the food giveaways and things we've done. You all have heard this many times. We fed over 20,000 people less than 7 years. We did it. And we did it with tithes and offering. And that's something that we really sparked in this city. And I'm telling you what I know, because when this ministry was started back in 2013, nobody was feeding people church-wise. No, the churches weren't feeding folks and doing all that kind of stuff. And we sparked this when Rehab started, 2100 East Wendover Avenue, Downtown Event Center. And when we did that, it was really a game changer for churches in our area. Now you look up and many churches are feeding and doing things like that. And they're doing it now and they're doing COVID testing, and that's great. Somebody asked me a few weeks ago, Zed, do you feel some kind of way because you aren't really positioned to be able to do those things now? Feel some kind of way in the sense of, yes, I enjoy helping people and wish we were positioned to be doing that now, right? Publicly, covertly, whateverly. But do I feel bad or do I feel like we haven't done our part? Absolutely not. We started it. We started it. See, you got to get to a point where you realize that when you have done the best you can for people, that you are not in a position where you have to help everybody. And some of y'all got to stop that. Some of you are wearing yourself out because you feel like you got to answer everybody's question. You got to solve everybody's problem. You got to fix everybody's issue. And what ends up happening is you end up fixing everybody's problems. And at the expense of us forsaking your own, you get everybody else's life together and you look back in your life as a mess. You make sure everybody else's needs are met. You look back and you barely making it. Now, don't misunderstand me because I know I'm going to pay for this. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not suggesting that it's not good to give. It's great to give. Bible says it's better to give than to receive. I believe in that. I live by that. I don't expect to receive nothing from nobody, from nothing that I have not given into. Period. That's from a job, career, relationships. Don't matter. Some of y'all are expecting to receive from relationships and you ain't pouring nothing. You have not taken your spouse, your partner out to dinner in 6 years, and you walking around here expecting them to give to you, and you ain't gave them jack. Yeah, I'm talking to you with your big rockhead self. I meant it. You ain't gave jack, and you walk around here expecting folk to give to you. It don't work that way. So whether it's relationships, career, finances, business, whatever, you don't expect to receive from nothing you have not given into. I believe that you give before you receive. You don't receive before you give. Are y'all listening to me? You don't receive before you give. And many of us don't have anything because we're walking around waiting to receive and we have not invested. We have not given. Right? This is just a natural law principle, right? You don't expect to have money in the bank if you have not given to your account, do you? How many of y'all went to the bank, opened up an account, didn't put nothing in it, and then went the next day and said, I want to make a withdrawal? What you going to pull out? Nothing. This is a very basic, easy example. Life works the same way. Careers, relationships, business, whatever. We don't receive until we give, until we invest, right? So I believe in giving. I believe in investing. But let me tell you something. Some of y'all at the place where you have given so much that you literally have nothing in return. And the reason you have nothing in return is because you have given in spaces that don't understand the importance and the impact of giving and receiving. Stop. You got to protect yourself. You got to protect your peace. You got to protect your energy. You got to protect your mind. You got to protect your well-being. And so I'm giving all of you selfless people the permission to be selfish in this season. Are y'all listening to me? In this, record this. This is good. You're going to help somebody. In this season, you have permission, if you're a giver, that is. If you're a giver in this season, you have my permission to be selfish. I know this ain't going to go over well with a lot of people. But to all the givers that's tuned in, that's selfless, that has always put other people first in front of them, that has always put the needs of everybody else in front of their own, you ought to be shouting right now. If you're a giver in this season, you have the permission. You have permission to be selfish. I said what I meant what I said. And this is especially to givers. No, I was laughing. We were talking. Boy was talking a couple of weeks ago, and somebody said, Pastor, man, they were feeling some kind of way. Was feeling some kind of way. You out here traveling and got all these pictures posted. Let me tell you something. If 2021 made you mad, 2022 is going to really piss you off. I'm working on some stuff right now. If 2021 hurt your feelings, 2022 is really going to piss you off. Bad. You know why? Because I'm a giver. I'm a giver. I am a person who has historically, to a fault, put everybody else's needs before my own. I did it when it made sense. I did it when it didn't make sense. I did it. I laugh at people. People really be feeling some kind of way when you blessed, but what they don't understand is everything you gave to get where you are. Y'all leave people alone. A lot of these people you envying that are blessed, you don't even understand what they gave up to get what they got. Stop. I love it. I love it. I like that, Sister Nikki. It's the year of you. You didn't gave, you didn't sacrifice, you didn't struggle, you didn't been without so people around you could have. You've done all of this stuff. And you mean tell me you don't have a right to now say, listen, I'm going to put myself first for a season. You got the right. I'm telling you, I'm giving you permission right now. Do it, because I am. I've updated my travel list for 2022, and I'm excited. Flights, boats, vacations. I'm excited. You know why, y'all? Because there were years I went by and couldn't even take a vacation. I'm just trying to explain this for people that don't understand. There were years I went by, couldn't take a vacation. There were years I went by, couldn't even buy a suit because I was pouring all of my money into other spaces to empower other things, to empower and could not even go get me a suit. It's my season. You ought to feel the same. Listen, and don't feel bad about it. Don't nothing make me more excited than when I'm scrolling on social media and I see folks that's doing big stuff, or they pulling up with cars that Sister Michelle sent me a reel yesterday about a lady. I swear, a lady was praying on Instagram, an Instagram reel, asking for a G-Wagon. And if you know what a G-Wagon is, you just know what it is. Asking for a G-Wagon. And she made a joke out of it because, she was praying, and then God said, "That's you again." She said, "Yeah, that's me again." And that be me. Look, I want what I want. It's a fact. I'm going to get this G-Wagon one way or the other. It's coming. But I don't feel no kind of way about that. I don't. When I see other people that's got what I want, I don't feel no kind of way because they got it. Man, I be liking, loving statuses, man. Giving folk virtual high fives. Man, go get it. You look good in it. See, many of us don't have what we want because we ain't learned how to be happy for the people who do. Are you listening to me? Some of you don't have what you want because you ain't learned how to be happy for the people who do. Nick, I know you're not going to get one too. I can't let you get one before me. Come on, God. You got to do it. Come on, Jesus. Many of you don't have what you want because you're not happy for the people who do. And listen, this ain't just material stuff. This is relationship. Some of y'all gonna die single. You know why? I love it. I'm good with the matching. I'm with that. Some of you are gonna die single because you envious at everybody else that's got somebody. Stop. You want somebody, learn how to be happy for the people who got somebody. Oh, it's quiet. I know we're a week away from Valentine's Day and y'all quiet. But I meant what I said. You want somebody, be happy for the folk that's got them. And if you can't, then that means you're not ready to have nobody. You can get a whole lot more when you learn how to be happy for the people who do have what they got. You get a whole lot more. All right? Now that I've made y'all upset. Isaiah chapter 43, verse 14 through 17. I got 3 more scripture sections and I'm done. So it looked like we're going to finish today. Amen. I know they're going down. I meant what I said. And I'm going to take it a step further. Y'all, I'm going to get in trouble for this, but that's okay. I can take it. I'm a big boy. Take it a step further. Those of you black folk that are on this call right now, this is especially true for you because we historically have not done well with praising our people who do well. I said it. Sue me. We have historically not done well with praising our own people who do well. It's the crabs in the bucket mentality. Y'all stop that. Stop. Nothing should excite you more than seeing somebody who looked like you succeed. This is Black History Month, ain't it? Huh? Are y'all listening? No, nothing should excite you more than seeing folk that look like us succeed. That's not many of us, though. Many of us, boy, I tell you, don't nothing burn us up than to see somebody else get what they got, get what we want. Like, we mad. What you mad for? And we got a bad habit historically of doing this. When people get too high or get too whatever, too successful, too rich, too famous, too whatever, boy, we be looking for a reason to tear folk down. Y'all stop that. Y'all stop that. And let's learn how to be, I like that. Let's learn how to be our own biggest cheerleaders. We got enough other challenges we dealing with as a people. The last people I'm trying to fight is y'all that look like me. Y'all stop. It doesn't make sense. And this is why, as a people, we cannot accomplish a lot. This is I know this ain't in my notes, but it's Black History Month. It's worth it. As a people, we cannot accomplish it. Not meanwhile, you have other persuasions, right? You take the Jewish community, by the way. We've got a lot of Jewish friends, and we talk about things like entrepreneurship. In fact, one of them turned me on to a book called The Secret of Jewish Wealth or something like that. It's a book that I read many years ago, and it was a powerful book. And it actually was recommended to me by one of my Jewish friends because we have these conversations. And he said something that was profound. He said, listen, when in our community, when somebody wants to start something or do something or whatever, what do? We put together our resources to support that person, to give them the nudge that they need to go forward. Do we do that, y'all? Oh, y'all mad? Do we put together, if one of y'all is starting a business, can y'all come to some of us and be like, look, everybody give me, $500 startup capital just to put this together so I can get this going and let me get going. And then when I get established, I'll give it back. Or better than that, I ain't even got to give it back. We're all in the same community, right? So, if I'm going to start this business, do you have 10 people right now? If you're going to start a business, do you have 10 friends right now, 10 family members that look like you, that you can go to them and be like, look, everybody give me $500. They might give you the money. Maybe. A lot of them gonna want that money back. I know I'm gonna pay for this. I'm gonna get you, but it's the truth. And this is why we struggle. This is why historically we have struggled. Y'all, we gotta stop this, man. We gotta stop this. Stop investing into people and only doing it with the expectation that you're gonna get something back. Right? I don't help people. I do not help people with the expectation that they're going to do something back for me. I'm just going to be honest with you. If I got to help somebody with the expectation that they're going to do something back for me, then it ain't genuine. I'm not going to help them. I'm not. I'm just not going to help them. And we as a people have to do better than that, because if we did, y'all, a lot of the people that we're connected to that want to start businesses, things like that, man, folks would be a whole lot further. They would be moving in spaces. Why? Because we would be pouring into each other instead of tearing people down. Anyway, let me move on. Isaiah chapter 43, verse 14 through 17. In Isaiah chapter 43, verse 14 through 17, God through Isaiah tells the people that he dealt with Babylon and the Chaldeans for their sake, right? He says, listen, I dealt with your enemies. I dealt with the people that were giving you a hard time. I dealt with them for your sake. I took care of them for your good. I want you to record this. Record this. There are some battles you will not have to fight in this season of your life. Somebody needs to hear this, all right? I'm almost wrapping this up. There are some battles you will not have to fight in this season of your life. Somebody needs to hear this now. Record it. You'll be the smartest person at the water cooler tomorrow. There are some battles you will not have to fight in this season of your life. Here's the crazy thing. The battles will belong to you, but you ain't going to have to fight them. Right? The battles will belong to you. And this is a word right here. The battles will belong to you, but you won't have to fight them. Right? The battle with the Babylonians and Chaldeans belonged to Israel. But God said, listen, I dealt with them for your sake. And there are some battles that will belong to you, that will be your personal battles that you're not going to have to fight in this season of your life. And you should be excited about this. He tells Israel, he says, listen, save your energy trying to fix situations with people that don't even belong with you. Some of y'all trying to fix situations that don't even belong to you. Yeah, they belong to you in the sense of being your battle, but they don't belong in the sense of the responsibility. The battle is yours. The responsibility is God's. Did y'all hear what I said? Don't forget that. You're going to be the smartest person in the water cooler tomorrow. When it comes to the battles of your life, they belong to you, but the responsibility is God's. You're not responsible for the battles in your life. You're not responsible for fighting the battles in your life. You own them, but you're not responsible for them. They belong to God. Right? And so when we really grasp that and understand that, then we save our energy trying to fix situations with people, circumstances, predicaments, whatever kind of situation you got. You save your energy trying to fix situations when you understand that stuff don't even belong to you. It's not yours to fix. It's not your problem to solve. Right? So you have to worry about that. And this is especially important for those of you that have enemies, that are counting enemies, that are worried about enemies, worrying about people who don't like you in this season, worried about people who didn't like you in the last season. Y'all save all of that energy. The battle don't even belong to you. Okay? God's going to handle your enemies for you. God's going to handle those things for you in the season of your life. And so stop trying to fix everything. Save your energy trying to fix things. Save your energy trying to patch things. Sometimes you just need to let things be. Listen to me. Sometimes you just need to let things be. Just let God handle that. All right? I don't know who I'm helping today, but this is a powerful word because many of you have just exhausted your energy trying to fix stuff. Oh my God. And by the time, here's the crazy thing. I've been here. By the time you have fixed it, you ain't got no energy to enjoy it. Have you ever spent so much energy trying to fix something that by the time you fixed it, you didn't even have the energy to enjoy what you fixed? It's crazy, right? And the reason you don't have the energy is because you had no business using your energy in the first place. Okay, so y'all cut that out. Cool that. Stop spending your energy trying to fix things, because even if you fix them, you ain't gonna have no energy to enjoy it when you fix it. And turn those battles over to God. Right? These battles can be concerning your family, your friends, whomever, your career, whatever. I had to tell myself this week, I just got to a point this week with work. I was so exhausted. I said, I'm just not going to spend no more of my energy worried about this ghetto crap that I have to deal with every day on this job. I'm just not going to do it. Like, I'm not going to exhaust my good energy on ghetto garbage. I'm just not going to do it. Right? I'm going to just turn that situation over and I'm going to just do what I need to do. I'm going to fix what I need to fix. I'm going to focus on what I need to focus on and let the rest take care of itself. You got to take that perspective sometimes, because you can be moving and moving and moving and doing and doing and doing and doing and trying to fix. And by the time you get a resolve, you're going to be so worn out, you can't even appreciate and understand what you've accomplished. This really hit me. I did some I've been working on some national initiatives right now with my professional career. I've been working on some national initiatives and really got a lot of momentum with some things that I'm working on that's really gotten my work recognized in some national spaces. And I'm really grateful for that. But it hit me earlier this week. Like, I'm doing all this great stuff on the national scene, but I can't even enjoy it because of all the energy I'm trying to put into fixing stuff right here. No, I'm going to enjoy what I am accomplishing and let the ghetto mess be taken care of by God. That ain't my problem. Okay. And you eventually get to that point, whether it's work, life, career, relationships, whatever, you eventually get to the point where you're just not going to let stuff wear you out. And I'm not. I was looking at my beard in the mirror the other day, and I saw all this gray hair popping out. I said, I mean, I like it. It look all right, but y'all not about to put more gray hair in my beard. I'm gonna worry about what I can worry about. I'm gonna resolve what I can, and I'm gonna get the rest of God and just move on, man. You gotta take that stance. Now, people gonna think you don't care. People gonna think you aloof. People are gonna think you're disconnected. People are gonna think that you don't care. People are gonna think that you quit. People are gonna think all this stuff. No, you've just made a conscious decision with your energy, and some of you need to make a conscious decision with your energy. Some of you need to make a conscious decision with your effort. Some of you need to make a conscious decision with how you are using your energy to solve and address and approach issues. Stop. Okay? God's going to handle your enemies for you. God's going to handle the ghetto spaces for you. God's going to handle all that stuff for you. Your job is to deal with what you can and not worry about the rest. All right? Look at this. Verse 18. I'm almost done. Isaiah chapter 43, verse 18. In Isaiah chapter 43, verse 18, and I paraphrase, God then tells Israel through Isaiah, he says, don't waste time dwelling on battles that don't matter. I want you to record this. Don't waste time focusing on battles that don't matter. Don't waste time focusing on battles that don't matter. I was talking to Tiffany this week. We were laughing at a situation. And I told her this is a sign that I've really grown because the situation came up and she called me and we were talking about it and laughing about it. And I said to her, I said, there was a day where I would have, addressed this, or I would have just, gone after this, or, put a stop to this, or, got involved. Not today. Not today. I refuse to dwell on battles that aren't worth my time. See, we dwell on stuff that ain't worth our time because we have not put a premium on our time. When you understand how valuable your time is, you don't waste time focusing on battles that don't matter. Some of y'all fighting people that you have no business fighting, who couldn't even live in your zip code if they tried. Stop. Some of y'all are fighting people who don't have half as much of what you got to lose. And you sit up here risking losing everything, fighting people who don't have half as much to lose. Stop. Stop focusing your energy. Stop focusing your strength. Stop focusing your focus on battles that don't matter. I mean this. This is a very important lesson you got to learn, or else you will find yourself in the weeds trying to resolve stuff, trying to clear this. Oh God, yeah. This is especially important for those of you who feel like you got to clear your name all the time. Can I help some of y'all? I'm about to deliver somebody right now. What I'm about to say is especially important for all of you who feel like you always got to clear your name. I got to explain something because they're going to think this. I got to tell my side or else they're going to think this. They're going to believe this. I got to tell my part or else they're going to. Let me tell y'all something. There is a peaceful place you grow in God to where you learn how to live your life without telling your side of the story. Somebody needs to record this right now. Learn how to live your life without telling your side of the story. Learn how to live your life without telling your side of the story. Swan, they don't like this. It's quiet. The comments getting quiet. This is a real word. Some of y'all have exhausted so much in it. I got to defend myself. I gotta make sure they know that I didn't do this and I didn't say this. No, you get to a point in your life for real where your life is so peaceful and peace is so much more important to you than anything else, that you get to a place where you just like, look, folk can believe what they want to believe. Now, people say that. People be like, yeah, people can believe what they want to. They don't really mean that. You say that publicly, and then you in the bed crying. I'm not talking about just saying and not believing it. I'm telling you, you get to a real peaceful place in your life for real, where when you really mean that, man, you don't care about. Folk can put together whatever they want to. I don't care. And you got to get to that place. And when you get to that kind of place, it's peace over there. Y'all, learn how to live your life without telling your side of the story. Let people say what they want to say. Let people think what they want to think. Let people believe what they want to believe. If you need to tell your side of the story, tell it to close people that are associated with you, your close family, close friends that you know are going to pray for you, that you know are going to be there for you, that you know are going to support you, right? Have a handful of your pastor, whoever, have a handful of people that you know you can confide in and talk to that are going to support you, that are going to challenge you. But you don't need to be making no public statements trying to clear your name. Y'all stop making these public statements on social media. Y'all stop. Stop making public declarations on social media. Stop feeling like you got to send a group text to clear your name. You don't have to clear nothing. May the works I've done. Come on, old Baptist folk. May the works I've done speak for me. You got to get to that place. You know you've done, again, I said earlier in the broadcast, you know you've done everything you can for people. You've done all you can to empower people, help them. Man, you don't be chasing stuff. Y'all stop that. You get to a place where you let your life speak for you. That's right, Swan. You let your life speak for you. And you live your life not having to tell your side of the story. Okay, so we got to get there. Right? He tells Israel to forget all of that. He said, listen, forget all of that. Don't worry about all of that stuff. He said, I'm about to do a new thing in you. And Paul says it a different way. He says, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind me. Stop living in the past. Stop living in the rearview mirror. Some of you will never be able to appreciate where you are because you can't get over what happened. You can't appreciate what's happening right now because you can't get over what they did. You got to get out of the past so that you can focus all of your effort, attention, and energy right here in the present. That's where the power is. We create the future by how we act in the present. Right? You can't change what happened yesterday, but you have every ability to influence what happens tomorrow. Okay? I feel like I'm giving life advice now. Right? You can't change what happened yesterday, but you have every ability in the world to influence what happens tomorrow. How do we do that? We influence tomorrow by how we function in the present. Okay? So y'all stop, man. Don't worry about having to tell your side. Don't worry about having to clear your name. Don't worry about having to justify what you did. Don't worry about having to explain what you did. Don't worry about having to explain what you didn't say. Y'all stop. Let folk think what they want to think. Believe what they want to believe. You be the best person you can. In every situation, you be the best person you can. Give people the best you have to give. Live with the results. And when you do, you walk in a place called peace. Okay? Final verse. Isaiah chapter 43, verse 19, we started here, right? Remember, we started here, and then we walked our way back, and we came back here, right? I believe in teaching this way because good teaching will always provide proper context, all right? Isaiah chapter 43, verse 19, this is where we started. For I'm about to do something new. I've already begun. Do you not see it? I will make a pathway through the wilderness. I will create rivers in a dry wasteland. I want you to record this right now, all right? I want you to record this right now. God is preparing you for the best season of your life. This is a word right here. God right now is preparing you. I hope you will receive this for the best season of your life. No cap. God is literally preparing you for the best season of your life. Which means everything that you've been dealing with recently, everything you've dealt with the last couple of weeks, everything you've dealt with the last couple of months, everything you've dealt with the last couple of years, God is using that to prepare you for the best season of your life. I had to stop complaining. I told y'all 2 weeks ago, I believe it was, or was it last week? I can't remember. I had to stop complaining about the challenges that I'm dealing with in my career right now. I had to stop complaining. And then I had to remember what I asked God for, right? I asked God to do these things. There's certain things that I want to do with my career, in my career, that I want to pursue. I asked him to do it. And now I'm having to deal with all of this foolishness, but then it completely connects with what I asked him to do for my career. Stop complaining, y'all. I'm telling you. Even when you don't like it, even when it's ghetto, even when it's a mess and you got to deal with it, God uses that to prepare you for the best season of your life. He uses that stuff that you don't like, that isn't favorable, that isn't healthy, that isn't what you would have designed, whatever. He uses all of that stuff to prepare you for better seasons, to prepare you for the answered prayer. He uses that for all of that, right? And so we've got to get to a place where we stop worrying, right? We stop worrying so much about, man, you know, how God gonna fix this, and how am I still gonna get what I want, and I got to deal with all of this fools. That's not your job. Go back and see the earlier part of the broadcast. That ain't your job. It ain't your job to try to figure out how we gonna do it. It's not your job to try to figure out how it's gonna come together. Your job is to catch the lessons in the season that you're in and know that God is going to create, through the lessons you gain, through the experiences you go through, He's going to use it to prepare you for the best season of your life. And I like this because if you read that verse, he says, not only am I going to do something new, he said, look, I already did it. Can't you see it? Let me show y'all something. I'm about to run through my house. You want to know when your faith is right? Because see, Israel, God tells Israel through Isaiah, he says, listen, I'm going to do something new, but wait a minute. I've already done it. I've already begun it. Can you not see it? So all Israel sees are the challenges. But God is saying, I already did it, and all Israel sees are challenges. Let me help you. You ready? You're going to know your faith is growing for real when you can see the miracle in the mess. When you can look at the mess in your life and see a miracle, that's when you know your faith is growing. When you can look at the mess in your life and see the outcome, the end game, the blessing that's coming from it, that's when your faith is growing. Some of you look at your bank account and all you see is broke. Some of us look at our bank accounts and we already see the multiple digits. That's when you know your faith is growing. Some of you look at your health being messed up and all you see is death. Some of us look at health challenges and we already see ourselves healed. Y'all not listening to me. Some of us look at our life struggles and all we see is doom and gloom. Others of us look at our life struggles and we see what life gonna be like when all of that stuff is cleared up. It's called living in the end. And when your faith is right, you don't just live in the present, you also live in the end. Rehab will tell you, one of my favorite songs we open, I used to always say, it won't always be like this. God will perfect that concerning you. Here we go. And sooner or later, it's going to turn in your favor. It's working out for me. That's a powerful song because it says, I can look at what I'm dealing with and still see the other side of this right now. I ain't got to wait on no miracle. I ain't got to wait on God to do nothing. I can literally look at all my bills and go to the mailbox and see a big old stack of bills that I can't pay and literally see them paid already before they are paid. And when you can do that, That's when you know your faith is right. And until you can do that, your faith is not where it needs to be. Until you can look at your present circumstance and see the mess in your present circumstance, until you can look at the mess of your present circumstance and see the miracle in the mess, your faith is not where it needs to be. It's not where it needs to be. So your question should be then, Dr. Zeb, how do I build my faith then? Because when I look at my life, all I see is the mess. When I look at my relationships, all I see is the mess. When I look at my finances, all I see is the mess. So how can I build my faith so that, because I know some of you are asking that, how can then I build my faith so that when I look at my mess, I can see the miracle? It's simple. The Bible tells us faith comes by hearing. Man, I feel like teaching today. Faith comes by hearing. Here we go. And hearing by the word of God. You want to build your faith? You got to get in the word, man. You got to get in the word. You've got to change what you listen to. Faith comes by what we hear. Why? Because what we hear then becomes internalized in our spirits. And some of us, our faith is messed up because we're listening to the wrong stuff. We listening to the wrong people. We getting advice from the wrong people. We making life decisions based on the opinions of wrong sources. Faith comes by hearing. That's where faith comes from. And so if you want to increase your faith, change what you listen to. I love music. Y'all heard me talk about my playlist many days. I got church stuff. I got trap stuff. I got it all on there. But let me tell you something. When I need to build my faith, trap music ain't going to build my faith. I know y'all don't like this. Trap music is not going to build your faith. It ain't. Gospel music possibly can. Depends on what kind it is. Some of that stuff won't do a whole lot for you either. Especially if it's not biblically based, rooted in the word. But I'll tell you what to build your faith. Go to YouTube, find you a channel. Somebody's teaching the word of God. Somebody's teaching something that will pour into your spirit to make your life better. Right? I'm doing a 28-day challenge on my personal YouTube page, and I'm getting so much feedback from people that are doing it who literally, I had folks on day 2 saying, look, this is already changing the way I see my life. You know why? It wasn't that the challenge is so whatever. I mean, it's different, but it ain't all of that, and I'm not diminishing myself. I'm just saying, like, it's a challenge, but it's, what makes it special is that it changes what you listen to every day. It changes what you feed your spirit every day. And some of us ain't seen no kind of personal or professional growth in our lives, or personal growth, especially in our lives, because we feed our spirit all kinds of stuff every day. And what you feed your spirit through what you hear will then become a part of your spirit, your energy, your focus, your reality. So you got to change what you hear. You want to grow spiritually? Change what you hear. You want to grow personally? Change what you listen to. Change it. I listen to some music during the week. I do, especially if I've got my headphones on at work and I'm going through certain tasks. I just need some inspiration or whatever. I'll listen to some music. But most days, and I can show you my YouTube account. Most days, I have all kinds of people that I'm subscribed to. A lot of these people, some of these people are spiritual thought leaders. Some of these people are motivational speakers. Simon Sinek's and these other kinds of folks I listen to. And I have these people playing in my ear, and they're giving inspiration. They're talking about things to make your life better. And that stuff is playing in my head. You know why? Because that stuff feeds into my spirit. It feeds into my energy, and it positions me to make sure that it checks what I believe. Okay? You gotta check that. Check what you listen to. And I get it. I know I'm a nerd. I used to listen to talk radio. You listen to somebody when I was in college. I asked my parents. When I was in college, I used to listen to Rush Limbaugh. No, I did not agree with Rush Limbaugh's crazy self. I didn't. I used to listen to Rush Limbaugh because I learned something at a young age. I was 17. I learned something at a young age, and that is you get strong in what you believe by listening to people that you disagree with, which is why I don't mind having a disagreement with anybody. I don't take it personal. Growth comes through disagreement, right? So I would listen to like Rush Limbaugh and all of these talk shows, political talk shows at 17, 18. Ask my parents. With my nerd self, listening to Rush Limbaugh, not because I agree. I like to hear the other side. I like to hear different opinions because it strengthened mine. Okay? So you want to make sure. You got to make sure you got, and that, this is niggas, right? She said, I listen to old school rap, made me want to ride down on my sister's ex. Right. Like you got to be careful listening to, or be careful with what you listen to, what you feed your spirit. Y'all feed spirit, feed your spirit things that will cause you to be embracing for the great things that God's going to do in your life, that will cause you to be able to look at the mess in your life and see the miracle, right? That will look at the mess in your relationship and see it being healed, right? To Sister Michelle's point, you listen to certain artists, you're going to look at the mess in your life and you're going to go get a knife and you're going to cut ties. You got to make sure you watch what you feed your spirit, okay? Because even if your current situation doesn't look like it's growing or it's getting better, it is. Faith comes by hearing. When your faith is right, it is. And faith teaches you to look beyond where you are to see what God's going to do for you. I'm done, y'all. I can't believe I finished. Did this bless anybody today? What a powerful message. This might have been one of the most powerful series that we've ever taught. I'm not going to lie. I really personally enjoyed this series. And I'm going to go back and watch today because I said some things today that honestly I needed to hear from myself. I'm just going to be honest with you. I needed to hear from myself. This bless anybody today. If it did, I want you to fill up with hearts, a hand emoji, something. Did y'all know the praying hands really was a high five? I read that somewhere. I didn't know that. Anyway, fill up with hearts, hand emojis, whatever. Let me know that this blessed you because this was a very powerful series. And I hope if anything else, this has challenged you to recognize what you must do to prepare for the new things that are coming in your life, right? We touched on a lot of different things through this series. And so I really hope that this has prepared you to prepare or helped you to prepare for the great things that are coming in your life. All right. Let's pray. I want you to type in your prayer requests right now in the comments. I want you to type in your prayer requests in the comments right now. If you've got a prayer request, I want you to know that every morning, 4:40 in the morning, I'm up, and before I work out, I pray over myself. I pray over your request. I pray over the things that you are dealing with, that you are challenged with, because we believe in the power of prayer. And so if you've got a prayer request, something you want me to pray for, I want you to type it in the comments right now. I want you to know that I see your prayer request. I do. I go back. If I don't watch the entire broadcast, which this series I have been, and I may not even watch the comments during the broadcast, but especially during this portion, I will cut on the comments so that I can see what it is that you want me to pray for. And so if you've got a prayer request, I want you to type it here in the chat area now. Doesn't matter the platform that you're in. Type it in the chat area so that we can see it. If not now, we can see it later on, because I want to pray for these things throughout the week, that God would answer your prayers. If you've got a prayer request that we cannot read, that is too personal, you can email your prayer request to info@rehabcc.org. That's info@rehabcc.org. You can email your prayer request, put in the subject line, prayer request. Put in the subject line, prayer request, email that prayer request, and it will be routed to my email address. We will take a look at it. We will read it and we will respond to let you know that we're praying for you, that we're rooting for you, that we're believing in you, and that we are agreeing with you. It's cool to pray for yourself. Everybody should pray for themselves. But I'm telling you, it's really special when you know somebody else is praying with you, right? And somebody else is praying for you. And so if you're watching this broadcast, whether live or the replay, you can rest assured that you are not praying alone. In this season of your life, you are not praying alone. You've got somebody that is praying for you. And I'm excited to be that somebody. I want to pray for you. I want to pray for your situation, your circumstance. and everything concerning you. I just happen to see a great prayer request. Thank you so much, Sister Michelle. I said, I'm praying for the best vacations of my life for this year, and it's coming. Amen. I received that totally. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. Listen, you got a prayer request, type it quickly. I'm giving you 30 more seconds. Hurry. I want you to type in your prayer request. We've got to pray. We want to have a call to discipleship. We want to sow a seed on this Super Sunday. We're going to get on out of here. All right. If you've got a prayer request, type it in the comments. If you've typed your prayer request, I want you to connect your hands like this as a sign and symbol of faith, as if we are standing in the building holding hands or touching elbows in this COVID environment. But I want you to connect your hands like this as a sign and symbol of faith. Let's prepare to touch and agree right where you are. All right. That means if you're driving, you might want to pull over. If you're laying in the bed, I want you to get focused now because I need you to pray with me. All right. Connect your hands like this as a sign and symbol of faith. Let's pray. Father, in Jesus' name, I thank you today for your word. Thank you for this time of sharing you've given us. I pray something was said that has encouraged somebody, challenged somebody, moved somebody to be the best version of them that they can be. We thank you, God, for helping us to recognize the importance of faith and allowing us to see miracles in the mess that we're in, to see the brighter days in the gloomy days that we're in. Help us, God, to see the miracle in the mess. Help us to understand that you are a God that specializes in making new things out of old situations. We thank you for these things. Now, God, I lift up to you every prayer request that's come across this line, that God, you would answer the prayers of your people concerning their health, their well-being, their prosperity, their business, their families, their relationships, their mental capacities, their mindsets, their emotions, their hurt, their pain, whatever the case may be. God, we lift these prayers up to you because we know you to be a prayer answering God. I ask now that this week be a week that is filled with miracles, that's filled with blessings, that's filled with unexpected stuff from an expected source, that source being you. God, answer the prayers of your people. Give us the right attitude while we wait on you. Help us not to focus on the past. Help us to not be worried about the future, but help us to just embrace the present of where we are, to make the best of every moment that we're in as we prepare for the great things that are ahead of us. I thank you for these things, and I count them done. In Jesus' name, amen. Do me a favor. You prayed that prayer of faith. I want you to type in the comments right now. It is so. It is so. It is so. That's right, Yamil. I like that too. Vacations and for the best season of your life. I'm praying for that. Come on, put it in the comments right now. It is so. It is so. It is so. If you prayed that prayer of faith, I want you to put it in the comments right now. It is so. It is so. Quickly, 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 quickly. It is so. It is so. Every time you say amen, you're simply saying it is so. Every time you say amen, you're saying it is done. I want you to type that in the comments quickly while you're typing. And if anybody wants to be saved, if anybody wants to dedicate their life to Christ, Romans 10:9 tells us that if we confess with our mouths, if we believe with our hearts that Jesus Christ is who he is and did what he did for us, we are saved. Salvation is that simple. It ain't a complicated game. It ain't about being perfect. It ain't about who like you and who don't. Salvation is a matter of confession. It is a matter of saying that I serve a God who has power bigger than my own problems. And so if you want to be saved today, if you want to dedicate your life to Christ on this very cold Sunday morning here in the East Coast, if you want to dedicate your life to Christ, I want you to stop what you're doing. If you happen to be out west in a pool somewhere out in California, I want you to get up out the pool. If you're at brunch, I want you to put down the bacon. If you're laying in the bed, I want you to sit up because I want you to repeat this prayer of faith with me. God wants to save you today. And it's really as simple as repeating this prayer and believing that he's done it. All right. If you want to be saved, I want you to repeat after me. Say this with me. I'm a sinner. I'm not perfect. I have some flaws and I even have some failures. But I do believe that Jesus Christ was born of a virgin, lived on this earth just as I'm living. He suffered, bled, and died on the cross. And 3 days later, rose again for my sins. Because he lives, I can live, and I am saved. My friends, if you prayed that prayer of faith, I want to welcome you to the royal family of Jesus Christ. You've made an amazing decision. You have literally joined the largest family in the entire world. Now, go find your church home somewhere. Doesn't matter where you go. I just have one requirement. Let it be a Bible-believing, Bible-teaching church that teaches and preaches the truth, right? That does it in a way that you understand, that you can apply to your life. Go find that ministry, be a part of that ministry, join that ministry, give your time, talent, and treasure to that ministry so that whether it's in a virtual space, in-person space, hybrid space, doesn't matter, so that you can continue to grow in your faith. All right. Maybe you're tuned in today and you like the Rehab Christian Center. Maybe you enjoy the way the message is taught here. Maybe you enjoy this virtual environment. Maybe you're interested in a hybrid environment. I want to challenge you today. If you want to be a part of the Rehab Christian Center, you should see moderators on the screen. We would love for you to be a part of our ministry. Our ministry continues to grow. It's continued to grow through this pandemic. And I'm so excited to meet so many of you in person when we are back in the building, and so excited to continue to engage with many of you online that are our online viewers and online members. I'm just grateful for your presence wherever you are. And so I want to challenge you today. If you're looking for a place to call home, just simply type in the comments, #membership. If you want to be a part of the Rehab Christian Center, just put in the comments, #membership. And one of our faithful moderators will reach out to you, get your information, and we will be in touch with you. I'm excited that as we shift into this hybrid environment, we will be doing virtual new members class. This is going to be a lot of work. I think people think that's going to be easy for some crazy reason, but it's going to be a lot of work, and especially on me. But just as I said in the broadcast, I'm excited about being surrounded by some people who are ready to work, that I'll be able to turn so many of these things over to, and we'll be able to lead these initiatives so that we can continue to remain engaged with all of you. All right. And so if you want to be a part of this ministry, just simply put it in the comments, #membership, and somebody will reach out to you and will gladly get your information and welcome you on board. Not to the largest church, not to the loudest church, but the most powerful church and the nicest church on the planet, the Rehab Christian Center. Listen, let me challenge you to give quickly. If this ministry has been a broadcast blessing to you, I want to challenge you to give. This is Super Sunday. We are sowing a $99 seed today. We're giving our tithes. We're sowing a $99 seed today. So I want to challenge all of you to give today. If this message, this ministry has been a blessing to you, you can give one of three ways. You can give via CashAPP at $REHABCCGIVE. You can give through our website, www.rehabcc.org. You can text REHABWORKS to 88202. Either of those methods you can give right now. You can be a blessing to our ministry in a special way. Again, you can give via CashAPP, $REHABCCGIVE. You can give on our website by visiting www.rehabcc.org, or you can text REHABWORKS to 88202. That's two words as one word, REHABWORKS to 88202. And right to your cell phone, you'll receive a prompt. Click on that link, and you can give right from your cell phone. And we promise you on this Super Sunday, God will bless you. How? Good measure, pressed down, shaking together, running over. He's literally going to send people into your life to be a blessing to your life because of the way you've given today. So I want to challenge you to give in a special way. And I know God is going to bless you for it. Listen, y'all, this is the first Sunday in February. We are 1 month down, 11 more months to go in this year. And I'm just excited for all of you. Do me a favor, make plans to join me this Tuesday, 8:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Life Study. February should be the last month that we continue at 8:08. Once my son's basketball season shifts in March, I should be able to go back to 7:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm grateful for those of you that have made, especially on the East Coast, that have joined us in at a later time. And those of you that are in the Midwest and out west, we will go back to that 7:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time start time. So thankful again for all of you for your sacrifice and for how you've tuned in. But meet us this Tuesday, 8:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I cannot wait to see you this Tuesday for a very powerful word. Listen, y'all, I love you. I'm praying for you. Next Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. Hope you're making plans to enjoy it with your friends and family. But we love you. We are praying for you. We want you to have a fantastic week. And I will see you this Tuesday, 8:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. Have a blessed Sunday. Love you guys. Praying for you. Peace and blessings.
Thank you for watching the Rehab Christian Center live experience. If this broadcast has been a blessing to you and you would like to be a blessing to our leader, Dr. Zeb Talley III, you can sow a seed into his ministry by CashAPP at $ Pastor ZT3. It is our prayer that this message of hope encouraged, enlightened, and empowered you to be better. Please tune in Tuesday at 7:08 p.m. for our life study experience. And as always, be blessed and have a